What actually happens if you eat 4 eggs every single day? Not just for a week, but as a long-term habit? Would your cholesterol levels increase? Could it impact your heart health? Or is it possible that it supports your body in ways most people don't usually expect? The truth is, eggs remain one of the most misunderstood foods out there. In this breakdown, you'll see what may be happening inside your body over time, from your brain and muscles to your eyes and daily energy. And trust me, the last few benefits are the ones almost nobody talks about. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns people still have: cholesterol. For a long time, eggs were labeled as something you should avoid because of heart risk. But more recent understanding paints a very different picture. Most of the cholesterol in your body isn't actually coming from food. It's produced by your liver, which constantly regulates its own output. When you include eggs in your diet regularly, your body doesn't just add cholesterol on top. Instead, it adapts. If intake goes up, internal production typically adjusts downward to maintain balance. Now here's where it gets more interesting. Rather than simply raising bad numbers, eggs are often associated with a more favorable shift in cholesterol patterns. HDL, often called the good cholesterol, tends to increase. At the same time, LDL doesn't just rise or fall. It often changes in structure, becoming larger and less dense. And that detail matters because smaller, dense LDL particles are the ones more commonly linked with artery buildup, while larger ones are considered less concerning in comparison. By the way, today there are even simple ways to observe these changes at home using cholesterol value devices that can help you track HDL and LDL trends over time. Curious about this? Comment below and I'll tell you more about how people are checking their numbers at home. Overall, eggs don't behave like the cholesterol enemy they were once believed to be. In many cases, they fit into a more balanced internal regulation system than most people expect. Now let's look at protein from a slightly different angle, one most people don't really consider. Unlike chicken or beef, which come from developed muscle tissue and are relatively dense, an egg is built as a complete starting system for life. It naturally contains all the essential building blocks needed to support the development of a living organism from the ground up. What makes this interesting is its efficiency. Egg protein has one of the highest biological values among natural foods, meaning your body can utilize nearly all of it with very little waste. In practical terms, this supports faster muscle repair, healthier joint and bone maintenance, and a more responsive immune system. If recovery feels slow or you often feel drained, improving protein quality, not just quantity, can make a noticeable difference. Eggs are more than just a protein source. They act as a highly balanced form of fuel for the body. The yolk contains healthy fats that support a slower, steadier release of energy instead of a quick spike. Unlike typical breakfast foods like cereal or toast, which break down into sugar quickly and may lead to a fast rise and drop in blood glucose, eggs offer a more stable energy pattern. Some people notice that after switching to eggs in the morning, they naturally stay satisfied for 4 to 6 hours. The result is fewer energy dips, less mental fatigue, and a reduced feeling of constant hunger throughout the morning. There's one specific nutrient in eggs you should know about: leucine. You can think of leucine as a kind of master switch inside your cells. Once you consume it, it sends a signal that tells your body to begin repairing tissue and supporting muscle building. Some modern nutrition insights also highlight that consistent intake of leucine-rich foods may help keep this signaling pathway more active and responsive over time. That's where eggs come in. For example, eating about 4 eggs a day can provide a steady and reliable source of this signal, helping support strength, mobility, and a more stable metabolism. Because ultimately, muscle isn't just about appearance. It's about maintaining independence, balance, and quality of life as we get older. Now let's shift to the brain. Your brain is largely composed of fats, and it depends on very specific nutrients to stay efficient and sharp. Among them, eggs stand out as one of the richest natural sources of choline and phospholipids. You can think of these as the core structural materials of brain cells, the building framework that supports how neurons communicate with each other. This is why eggs are often associated with clearer thinking and improved memory support, better focus throughout the day, and more stable mood patterns. Hidden inside the golden yolk are 2 powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. You can think of them as a kind of internal eye filter system. They naturally accumulate in the retina, where they help absorb and filter excess blue light. from screens like phones and TVs, while also supporting the eye's natural defense against light-related oxidative stress, including sunlight exposure over time. This is why eggs are often linked to eye support. They don't just provide general nutrition, but actually supply specific compounds that become part of the eye's protective structure. For people over 50 who want to support long-term eye comfort, reading clarity, and nighttime visibility, this is one of the simplest daily nutrition habits that can make a difference. To get these benefits, the quality of the egg does matter. At the lower end are caged eggs, where hens are kept in highly restricted environments, often under significant stress. Cage-free is a step up, giving more space, but conditions can still be relatively crowded and controlled. Then you have pasture-raised eggs, often considered the higher standard. These hens have access to outdoor environments, sunlight, and a more natural diet, which can influence the overall nutrient profile of the eggs they produce. If pasture-raised isn't available, there's no need to overthink it. Even standard eggs are still far more nutrient-dense than many processed breakfast bars or sugary cereals commonly eaten in the morning. The bottom line is simple. If your body tolerates them well, including up to 4 eggs a day can be a practical way to support overall nutrition. It contributes to muscle maintenance, brain nutrient supply, and more stable daily energy. If this surprised you, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more simple health insights. If you're still unsure how eggs may affect your cholesterol values, you can check the link in the video description to explore at-home monitoring options. Or comment below and I'll explain it in more detail. Let's build better health, one simple habit at a time.